Hi, I'm Scott Klug, Integrated Solutions Consultant for GreenMark Equipment, and I've been with the company for about 11 years now. Today we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to talk about the new menu layout in the My John Deere Operations Center. So the first thing you're going to notice when you get in there is the visual change of there is no more Toolbox button in the upper left-hand corner. More commonly known as the waffle button, it has been broken out into different segments. We have Setup, Plan, and Analyze. But the first button you're going to see is the maps. And everybody knows what the maps are, but one reminder in that is if you do not have boundaries to your fields, you're not going to see where those maps or where that field is on that map. So jumping into the first section here is the setup. So the first button that you see is going to be connections. Connections are those different third-party programs that are tied to your Operations Center account. The next one is a feature that comes to us from JD Link. So geofence and curfews. If you haven't been in there before, you can actually set a boundary around your farm to know whether you have a vehicle going in or out of that boundary within a certain time frame, whether it's before or after hours. Land is the new version of the Land Manager. That is where you're going to go to create client farms, fields, do edits to boundaries, create or edit tracks, and set up flags if you need them. Going down the list, we have products. This is the same thing that it's always been. You're going to be able to create and manage your varieties, chemicals, fertilizers, tank mixes, anything that you're going to handle throughout the season in an operation. Setup File Creator, again, is the same as it's always been, and you're going to be able to go in and set exactly what you want to see for a specific profile to send to a machine. Teams is where you're going to go and assign partners, staff members, or a trusted advisor. You can also give them different permissions based on what you want them to see for your organization. Terminals then is every vehicle that's on your farm that has a JD Link terminal in it. You will be able to go in there and see what variation it is and what subscription it has tied to it. Going forward in the planning section, so Agri and Prescription Creator is the tool that John Deere is tied with to create prescriptions for tillage or seeding or fertilizer or anything that you need to have variable rate applications made for. Crop Planner then is one of those tools where you can actually set a split in crop acres and see it either in a graph form or by a map. So after you set up what the plan is for your specific crops, you can zoom out and see which fields are going to be corn, which fields are going to be beans, and see if it makes sense to you to have them in those areas. Maintenance is another one of those tools that comes from JD Link. So you can set up a maintenance plan and intervals for your JD Link tied equipment and get alerts on them when it's coming due based on the hours on that piece of equipment. Work Planner is a tool that will allow you to pre-populate and set up the variety going to a specific field, the prescription for a specific field, or which operators and equipment need to go and make that application. Analyze then is the tool of getting all of your reports and seeing what's been done across your operation. We have another video that really dives into the Analyze, the Field Analyzer, and the Field Analyzer Beta features. Analyze is now the tool that took the place of the agronomic reports. So basically to see your end of planting data and end of harvest data, get all those yield reports, seeding reports, and everything in one simple spot. Field Analyzer then is a dive into each individual field and lets you have a visual of what applications have been made across that. Field Analyzer Beta takes it a step further from the regular Field Analyzer and lets you dive into and dissect a field and see if a specific application made or warranted any and got you any better yields across that field. Machine Analyzer then basically lets you look at each individual piece of equipment across your operation and kind of dive into the utilization of it, fuel reports, and that type of stuff. Machine reports is another step in that. It also gives you some historical data and lets you really funnel down through how each piece of equipment was used. The last button we have then is the More. This is a toolbox that gives you a bunch of different pieces, some of it different icons that can be added to your desktop to let you do different things. So Apex backup utilities. If you haven't already and you're utilizing the old Apex system and you want to take advantage of the new Operations Center, this is what the tool that you will use to make that backup and get all that historical data brought into the new system. Bulk boundary creator then is basically taking and creating boundaries off of already worked pieces or fields. It will automatically snap a boundary around the data layer that was laid out for that piece. Files then is the tool that will let you upload, download, and assign different pieces. So this is where you're going to go if you have third-party people coming in and giving you prescriptions, or you're loading your own scripts out of another program and assigning files back and forth to specific fields and sending them to vehicles. Jobs report is a way of diving in and taking a look at a report based on what planter did what fields, what tractor was in this field, what sprayer did this, or diving in and utilizing a report on which operators farmed which pieces. John Deere Data Manager is a tool that's going to load an icon to your desktop. If you do not use wireless data transfer, this is the way to do manual data routing in and out of Ops Center back and forth to your displays. John Deere Software Manager is a way of getting software to your Gen 4 displays. Does not include the GS3s or historic displays, so only Gen 4s. And then the More Tools is a button that you can go into and see all the partner companies that John Deere can tie into third-party software and bring data in and out of the Operations Center seamlessly. Remote display access reports basically gives you the opportunity to take a look at and see how many times you've tied into a vehicle through remote display access, whether it's through the dealership or on farm, one operator helping another, and see how many times that has been made. Thank you for taking the time and watching our video. If you have any further questions, please visit your local GreenMark dealer and see your local IS consultant.